people, my brothers and I, and Mom was a leader and all that. So are those some of the things about the two towns that you're thinking about?
Yeah, what my question is, I mean, it's got to be painful because these people, the communities are our neighbors, but yet they seem to be quite okay with doing something like this, and that's got to be painful to think that they would, just turn their backs on people that have done nothing but love and support them. What are your feelings about, their attitudes? And I'll give you a good example. When I first talked to Mr. DeRoy, he said that when he sits in those meetings and he looks up and looks at the people, the airport committee, and they're smiling and talking and laughing about his farm, that it just hurts him something fierce inside. And that was so powerful for me, because I can't imagine what that feels like. It's got to be one of the worst feelings in the world, I would just guess. Other than losing a child or a parent, that's got to be, just for somebody to be so flippant about somebody else's entire life.
What's weird for me is like that Mike Shyrock or whatever his name is, him and the manager of Pella and all that, I don't think of them as Pella or Oski people. They're just in for a little while. I mean, it would be harder for me if it was some Kuiper or somebody that we knew all of our lives sitting in those positions. And I know it doesn't matter, and I know they're doing what they're doing. But it would be a lot harder for me if it was somebody that was a real Oskaloosa or Pella person doing it to us. But I know that's sort of an odd idea, since they are representing Pella and Oski. Yeah. And even those people on that stupid SRCAA, are those any real people that you've known all your life? Or are they like...
Well, I know Joe Morick. I don't know if you would know me, but I know him.
No. Okay, well, you answer that however you want to. Mom always collected for the Cancer Society. She was on the Soil and Water Board until lately, when she didn't feel like she could leave Dad as long, actually. I mean, she's always been a participant in everything, certainly in Leighton, but straying into Pella and Oski. She was the president of the Central College Auxiliary. And my dad, before his stroke, was involved in all the church stuff and all civic stuff too. So they've always been participants. I guess I haven't thought about it in the way she's asking you that question before.
Yeah. Where we live, it's between the two towns. And so we do business and have friends, official people, professional people in both towns. And a lot of them are not for this airport. They don't like exactly what's going on, but there are enough people who do, and the rest of the people aren't very interested. But we've always cooperated, tried to, in our community here, with the Farm Bureau, with 4-H, with the churches, things that we can do to help. I can't use names, but I know that some of the people, professional people in Pella, for example, are really upset about how things have gone. But the city council is in charge, and they signed all the papers. So it's part of their plan now, but not necessarily everyone thinks it's great.
Yeah.
But there's a majority that's in charge.
If your mom and dad were here, what do you think they would say, or what would they think about what's going on?
Well, my dad would really be upset about it. And he didn't even grow up in this area. He grew up south of Leighton. But my mom too, because it was hers. Her parents gave it to her as a gift. would think that they are saying, well, they would say the same things that we were trying to say.
What about your grandma and grandpa?
They would just be shocked that such a thing was even thought about. Of course, that was a long time ago. But in those days, they were more interested in better roads, for example, than an airport.
So about today's, I guess, official statement from the supervisors that they're going to continue to fight the 28E verdict. I'm sure that probably had a little hope, but are you kind of getting to the place where you're a little wary of hope, or you just hope no matter what?
It just depends. It can go either way.
It just depends on the day.
Right. But I was happy that they decided to follow up on this and to take the next step, because the case was not handled very well the last time.
Yeah.
And it was a lawyer that was recommended to them, but it didn't really turn out very well.
Do you think this land in particular was chosen for a reason? And I think your daughter alluded to that, because people are older here.
Absolutely, I think so. Because the people that we worked with in the other plans, before we knew who it was going to be, they were really hard-working on Facebook all the time, finding out facts. They worked really hard for all three of the prospects of where it might be A, B, or C, not just for themselves.
Yeah.
And I was really impressed with how these young people really stood up, stepped up.
Yeah. Is anybody still doing that, or is it kind of waned?
Well, some is still going on. Some people are very faithful. Sometimes they post things that's taken down right away.
What do you feel about that?
I think that's really sad, that one group of people can promote something and then the other people can't respond without reasonable time frame.
If you had anything to say to the people that are really pushing this airport hard, I guess what would you say to them if you were talking directly to them right now? And let's just pretend it's me.
Well, I would say that how would you feel if part of your property was going to be taken away, or your livelihood? Maybe not a building, but maybe something else. Maybe your license was taken away from you, but we're dealing with property income. You couldn't stand it either. What would happen to your family?